I'm Lila, a 24-year-old woman and the youngest of 5 in my family. Growing up, I felt like a ghost in my own house, always overlooked. My parents made it clear who their favorites were, and I wasn't one of them. My older brothers, Ethan and Caleb, soaked up all their attention and praise. Ethan, the eldest, was their shining star. Brilliant and charming, he was the topic of every family gathering. Ethan's landed an amazing job, they'd boast. You get the picture. Caleb, on the other hand, was the family's golden athlete. Charismatic and popular, his shelves overflowed with medals, which my parents proudly displayed to guests. And me? I was just Lila, the quiet one fading into the background, the "oh, you're here too" kid. They weren't outright mean, just indifferent. I first noticed the difference when I was about 10. One memory still stings. School let out early due to a snowstorm, and I watched as other kids were picked up by their parents. I waited, gripping my backpack, as the classroom emptied. The custodian finally asked if anyone was coming for me. "They're probably delayed," I muttered. After an hour, with night creeping in, I walked home, soaked and shivering without a jacket. When I got there, my mom was lounging with a book. "Oh, you're home. Food's in the fridge," she said, barely glancing up. No worry, no explanation. Nothing. This wasn't a one-off, it was my normal. My parents forgot to pick me up so often that my teacher started driving me home. "Should I call them?" she'd ask. I'd shake my head. What was the point? Birthdays were just as bad. My mom threw big parties, but they were never for me. She'd invite her friends and their kids, not mine. Once I overheard her say, "Lila doesn't really have friends anyway." I froze in the hallway, then hid in my room until the party ended. Ethan and Caleb weren't any better. Ethan teased me mercilessly. If I got a good grade, he'd scoff. "What, you want a medal?" Caleb barely noticed me unless it was to tell me to stop being a nuisance. To outsiders, we looked like the perfect family. Relatives would say, "You're so lucky to have such a wonderful, successful family." Lucky? Really? By middle school, I thought if I achieved something big, they'd finally notice me. So I joined every club, studied hard, and tried every activity I could. It sort of worked. They'd say, "Nice work," but it felt like they were just going through the motions. Meanwhile, Ethan was applying to top colleges, and Caleb was racking up more awards. Next to them, I was invisible. One year, I earned a spot on the honor roll and proudly hung the certificate on the fridge. The next day, it was gone, replaced by Caleb's game schedule. When I asked my parents about it, my dad shrugged. "We're busy, Lila. You know how it is." "Busy with what?" "You were at Ethan's speech competition last week," I snapped. "Ethan's events matter. We can't do everything." I gave up trying after that. In high school, I focused on my own path. I became valedictorian and sent my parents invitations to my graduation, reminding them over and over. On the day of my speech, I looked out at the audience. Their seats were empty. They'd gone to one of Caleb's routine track meets instead. Sitting in my car afterward, holding my diploma, I felt hollow. No matter what I did, I'd never matter to them. That day, I decided to leave. College was my way out. I earned a full scholarship because I knew they wouldn't help me financially. Ethan got a fancy car for his graduation, and Caleb's college expenses were covered. I got a text, "Congrats." College was tough, balancing classes, jobs, and life alone, but it was liberating. No one ignored me here. I started building my own world. Occasionally, my mom would send a passive-aggressive text, "Too busy to call your family?" Once, she left a voicemail saying she missed me, but her tone was hollow. When she asked if I'd come home for the holidays, I said I couldn't afford it. Her reply? "If you budgeted better, you wouldn't have that issue." I laughed bitterly. I was juggling 2 jobs and student loans. Meanwhile, my brother's social media painted a picture where I didn't exist. Ethan posted about his high-flying career. Caleb shared game highlights with my parents cheering in the front row. I was nowhere to be seen. Things boiled over during a holiday visit. Walking into the house, I felt like a stranger. Dinner revolved around Ethan's job and Caleb's victories. When Ethan smirked, "Remind me, what are you even studying?" I lost it. Later, I overheard my dad tell a neighbor, "We've got 2 kids, Ethan and Caleb." They keep us busy. 2 kids, not 3. I confronted him. Guess I'm not part of the family anymore. He brushed me off. You're always off doing your own thing, Lila. What do you expect? That night, I left for good. I cut contact completely, blocked them, changed my last name, updated my emergency contacts. But it wasn't enough. I needed to tell my story. So I shared it online, spilling every detail, every wound. The post exploded. Strangers supported me, sharing their own experiences. My parents freaked out. My mom left a furious voicemail. How dare you drag our family through the mud? Ethan emailed, calling me childish. Caleb texted, you're making life harder for everyone. Their friends started asking questions. My mom posted a dramatic sob story online, playing the victim. Relatives messaged me, saying I was too harsh, but I held firm. Then came a legal notice accusing me of slander. I consulted a lawyer who confirmed I was in the clear. I updated my post with evidence, screenshots, the legal threat, photos of their empty seats at my graduation. The support was overwhelming. At work, a colleague mentioned seeing the post. I braced for criticism, but she said, that was brave. I'm sorry you went through that. My parents' perfect image started to crack. Their friends pulled away. I hosted a holiday dinner with my true family, my friends. They tried to silence me, but I took back my voice. It's not perfect, but I'm finally in charge. That's my victory. The aftermath, my family didn't back down quietly. They launched a campaign to smear me. My mom posted online again, claiming, it hurts when a child twists the truth for attention. We gave Lila everything: love, a home, opportunities. Yet she chooses to attack us. Pray for families divided by falsehoods. Some bought it, but others saw through her. A family friend commented, strange how Lila's lies include proof of you missing her graduation. Ethan emailed again, you're ruining our parents' reputation. Take the post down or you'll regret it. Caleb texted, just drop this. You're humiliating us. I saved everything but didn't reply. The shift, then something unexpected happened. A distant cousin, Nora, reached out privately. I always wondered why you were so reserved at family events. Now I understand. I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner. Her message hit me hard. I'd thought everyone was complicit, but some just hadn't noticed until now. My parents' social circle started to fray. Their book club, which had initially supported them, began questioning their story. One member told my mom, if Lila felt this ignored, there might be truth to it. The final hit, desperate to save face, my parents made a fatal error. They gave an interview to a local blog, portraying me as an ungrateful, troubled daughter. It backfired spectacularly. Readers tore into them in the comments, linking my post. The story spread through our town. Then, the consequences hit. Ethan's high-profile job learned of the drama, and his company, with its strict ethics code, quietly let him go. Caleb's sports endorsements started pulling back too. Karma? Definitely. My life now, the fallout was draining, but it set me free. I cut all ties, new number, blocked every toxic relative, and relocated to a new city. I found my real family, my friends, my colleagues, even strangers online who supported me. Therapy helped me see that none of this was my fault. I wasn't the problem, they were. Last month, my dad sent a letter, no apology, just a cold, we're ready to move on if you admit you overreacted. I tossed it out. The takeaway, telling my truth wasn't about vengeance. It was about reclaiming the story they'd taken from me. The people who matter believed me. My parents' perfect family image is in tatters, and that's a victory I'll hold dear forever. If this story resonated with you, please give it a like, share it with others, and follow for more real-life stories and emotional journeys. Your support means everything and helps bring more stories like this to light. Thank you for reading, and I'll see you in the next one.